Welcome to Spotlight on Lakewood. I'm Mayor Adam Paul. This is an exciting episode, and I appreciate you taking the time to tune in. The Mayor's Inspiration Award is an opportunity to recognize those in the community who are doing incredible things day in and day out to make Lakewood the great city it is. Today I'm honored to have a half dozen of the recipients of this year's award program with me, and we're going to learn a little bit more about them and hear about the wonderful things they are doing. Let me start with Evelyn Murphy, who has volunteered in many different capacities, including the 4-H Club, Foothills Animal Shelter, her church, and as a children's camp counselor. She even teaches adults how to work with kids who have special needs. That's quite a list. Evelyn, tell us how old you are and why you volunteered so much at a young age.
I am 14 years old. I like to volunteer because I believe that helping other people and children is good.
That's cool. So tell us a little bit more, like what are your favorite areas to help in, or something special, maybe a story or somebody that you've helped that really has been meaningful to you? Well,
I like to help at Adams Camp up at the YMCA. I know it's not in Lakewood, but my brother has autism, so I like to help people like mentors and other stuff to teach children with disabilities like that. Like, they're just trying to communicate that they're still people.
Absolutely. So making them feel welcome and helping them feel normal and just being a good friend. Mm-hmm. Tell us, how do you feel you've made an impact in the Lakewood community?
I really like helping the mentors in 4-H and people at my church and camps that I volunteer at, just like show them how to treat children properly.
Perfect. And I think we can all learn a lot from you, so that's really cool. I appreciate all that you've done. All right, Henry Walsh, how are you?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's great to have you here. And you have a unique shirt on, and I think that plays in a little bit to what we're doing today. It looks like you like to mountain bike, and you saw a need in our community, and so you decided that you'd create a fundraiser. You rode over 200 miles and raised over $1,000 for the Action Center.
Yeah.
What made you want to raise money for the Action Center?
Well, I mountain bike a lot, and so I thought that it wouldn't be too much extra work to raise a little money and help people. And I like helping people, so the reason I wanted to raise money for the Action Center specifically is because my grandma, she ran a place like the Action Center in Whitten, Illinois, and she brought me there and gave me a tour, brought me to the Action Center, gave me a little tour, and I thought it was very helpful and that it really helped people, so I wanted to make sure that its resources could be used more effectively with more
funding.
Yeah.
So how do you feel that your fundraising has impacted the city?
Well, I feel like my fundraising has impacted Lakewood because I would like to think some people in Lakewood can go to the Action Center and use my donation. Let's say they go to the food pantry and get some food, and maybe it could be bought by I wouldn't say my donation, but the money that I raised, and I just feel like I helped some people in the Lakewood community.
Well done. That's very cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Barbara Moore with one of our great nonprofits called Jeffco Eats, whose mission is to ensure that nobody goes hungry in Jefferson County. Barbara, it's great to have you here today. Thank you for being here.
It's an honor to be here, and we're all here today because we want to help other people. And in particular, Jeffco Eats, we have an MO that's about families helping to help children. So we are so happy that every week when we have over 50 volunteers packing the weekend food for the kiddos, that we have families and they come and they say, you know, we don't have a lot of places to bring our children. So in the summer especially, we have people that are just thanking us for coming. And so children are helping children every week so that kiddos can eat.
Yeah. How many families do you serve in an average week?
Well, we started in 2016-2017 with 4 schools, Iber, Lastly, Edgewater, and Jefferson High School, with 100 bags of food, 7 pounds each. And quickly, only 8 weeks after that, we got the ability to work with JSEL summer program, 12 schools, and we went up 400% to 450 bags, and we'd have about 75 volunteers coming on Fridays to pack the bags, and then we have drivers on Thursday and Fridays that bring them to the schools.
Yeah, so childhood hunger is actually something that flies a little bit under the radar in some areas in our community, but the problem is continually growing and increasing.
Well, we cry a lot because children tell us stories like, thank you for the food because I don't have a headache this weekend because I got to eat the beef stew. So each week we hear, true living stories about people that are hungry. So we feed 400, but our mantra is we need to feed 4,000. We focus on Lakewood, Wheat Ridge, Edgewater, and a little bit of Arvada. 75% of what we do is in this Lakewood, Title I schools, Section 8 apartments, trailer parks, pools, wherever we can go, we go to help get kiddos some food.
So you go to where the kids are to make sure that our most precious resources have food and just the simple things in life.
Well, we try to touch them too with honoring food. So we do shelf-stable food for the families, but we also do produce because we know people need healthy food. We do snacks. So high school kids, they don't really want string beans. They want snack foods, after school programs, kids are hungry. There's just hungry kids everywhere. But the cool thing is that we have to focus on, because this is about inspiration, correct?
You bet.
Volunteers are coming every week. We have hundreds and hundreds of people that are signing up in corporations that come as groups or, again, families, but people are showing up to help. And it's so inspiring to us every week. We just say we couldn't do it without you, and it's true.
Yep.
So people are beginning to understand the need for hunger in Jefferson County, and they're beginning to show up, to give and to donate their time. It's fabulous.
Very inspirational, and it goes to the power of one. I think all of you represent. It only takes one person. Pick one idea, one thing, and go out there and try to make a change, and look at how it's begun to steamroll. So that's incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have Steve Strunk, who is a fairly new member to our community, to the city of Lakewood. And in that short time, I think you've tackled things that folks who've maybe lived here 10, 15 years haven't even achieved. You got involved with the 9 Health Fair. You've been active in the 40 West Arts District. And a really cool thing is you've created some pantries that you've put out that also address hunger. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I'm very humbled to be here because really the reason that I'm here is the person that recommended me, Jennifer Ryan, who's the founder of the Mural Project. And I've always been a volunteer for that. And I'm here partially because of your State of the City message, be bold. And I just consider myself to be sort of a worker bee, helping other people that have greater ideas than I do. So when you had the State of the City meeting and you gave your speech about being bold, although I had done a lot of things before, I thought about your goal for this year. Everybody should do one thing, and your big main issue this year regards children being hungry. And so, people have little libraries around town, so having a little pantry for food without questioning why the people, go there or take the food, is just something that doesn't do anything on the scale that you do. But, if you can make a little bit of difference in some people's lives, then that works out.
That's fantastic. So I think many folks are familiar with a little free library, but this is a pantry that is similar to that on a street corner or at a school, and you stock it and anybody can come up no matter what need they might have, and if they're hungry they can grab a snack and move on.
Right.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know it's something you want to see expand in the community.
Yes, very much so, very much so. And your speech really about each citizen taking responsibility for, trying to help, maybe you're helping the thousands of people, but, I feel like I'm doing my part to maybe help 4 or 5 people.
you know, if you help one person, it makes a true difference, and that's the key to a community. And that's something I think, again, you all are here because of that, and I'm very honored for that. Thank you. Yes. Next we have LaDawn Sperling, who has been in Lakewood for almost a decade plus.
Since 2005.
Since 2005. Moved here from Nebraska and has
Huskers.
gotten involved from day one and has been involved in many different things. And now, as your occupation, you're a realtor, which allows you to meet and kind of connect a lot of folks, but you're involved in multiple nonprofits. And a really cool thing this past year, you noticed at your building that there was a homeless woman. Every day you walked in and you brought her food for a long time, and you ultimately ended up working with the housing authority to find her permanent housing.
Yes, it's a fantastic story with not a great ending, so don't get too excited, everyone. But I did meet Jan outside my building. She was homeless along Union for 10 months, and she lived along Union, slept in various places along Union, and someone who worked in the Wells Fargo building, his name is Ted, he also befriended her. And the two of us worked to get with Metro West Housing Solutions, who they're so amazing and so caring. We worked to get her permanent housing in one of Metro West's communities. Unfortunately, Jan was evicted this past month and for getting into fights in the TV room. And we tried to get her help for mental illness, but she didn't want help, so she is back on the streets. Wow. Metro West is still looking on finding her permanent housing, so.
And I think that's actually an important story because we all want the happy ending. Mm-hmm. And when we look at some of the issues that we're all dealing with in our community, there's not always a happy ending.
There's not.
There's not. But nobody's given up on her, it sounds like.
No, we're still in touch with her.
Okay.
Even though she lost her phone, it's a little bit tougher.
Sure. So in the meantime, while you were doing this and working, you also volunteered. Talk to us a little bit about the different nonprofits that you're part of.
I am on the board of directors for the Action Center. I've been involved with the Action Center since 2006, so shortly after I moved here. As many people know, the Action Center is struggling financially right now, and I'm on the committee to raise $1 million before the end of the year. We've surpassed the halfway point, so things are going very well with that. I'm also on the board of Spay Today, and they're a nonprofit that many people in Lakewood do not know exists. They provide low-cost spay and neuters to keep the pet population down, and they work with a lot of rescues so that adoption fees can be lower so pets can find families. And we are actually working on a new building project. We purchased a building at 14th and Ammons, and we are working on the renovations for that building. So it's really exciting. We'll be able to expand our services to wellness care as well. So we're really excited to be able to help more people in the community with low-cost pet services. And then this is a new project that I'm really excited about. And I'm working with CASA of Jefferson and Gilpin County. And Leah Varnell, who's the executive director of CASA, heard about a project they're doing in Montrose that is providing housing, affordable housing, for kids aging out of the foster care system. So when kids turn 18, they're just on their own. They're out of the foster care system. A lot of these kids could really make it if they just had a hand up. So we're looking at that. We're at the very beginning stages. We're looking for land, a location, so if anyone out there knows something, call me.
Wow, that's amazing. And you've also worked with Family Tree.
Yes.
And many others. So you're always active, always trying to do something, always trying to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. And last but not least, we got a quiet one back there, but out in the community, you're not so quiet. Doug Whitten has done so much for our community, and he does it with a smile, and you'd probably never know that he's out doing it, and this is probably really uncomfortable for you to be here. So share with us a little bit about how you've been involved in your community, especially in your neighborhood association.
Well, our neighborhood association, Southern Gables Neighborhood Association, consists of the Southern Gables area. We have a little over 900 residential homes there. We work with just a variety of people, anyone who wants to help. We started out really getting involved about 4 years ago, when we went to our first neighborhood night out or national night out, and Judy and I, who she does more work for the association than I do, but we've started thinking about how we could get more people in the community involved. And so we met with several neighbors and just started brainstorming ideas about getting people involved in our neighborhood. And our first biggest event anyway was what we called the neighborhood night out, which was really an adjunct to the national night out, except we have ours always the second week after school starts, because our folks we talked with said that, hey, let's get everyone back to school first. We get more participation. So we hold it every year at Green Gables Elementary School. And since that time, we've gotten business community involved, where we have this year we have over 55 businesses who help and contribute. Another thing that we do is that all of these businesses have an opportunity to provide materials to our homeowners. So not only do we do that, but we have students from Carmody Middle School who help put these together, and then the student senates from Bear Creek High School deliver all the materials. So we're really, hopefully we can get the community involved in as many aspects as we can. We're very involved with our sustainable Southern Gables, which is a very, very aggressive group and probably one of the initial sustainable neighborhoods in the community. We work very closely with the churches in the area and try to get as many people involved as possible. So on the 24th of August, we'll have our 4th neighborhood night out. Last year we had a little over 560 or 75 people who attend. So this year we hope to have at least that many, if not more. We'll have our businesses represented. In addition, we have booths set up for the Boy Scouts and the Lakewood bicycle folks and all of the schools that want to participate and things like that. So overall, we just want to get folks involved and feel part of the community and see people they haven't seen for quite a while, and just make it a good event for everyone.
That's really what's unique about Lakewood. It's a big community, but it's a community of great neighborhoods, and when you can bring them together. So go back 5 years, how many people do you think came to that first event?
Probably 25.
25.
Yeah, now that I look at it.
And now you're pushing 600.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You're working with the elementary school, always bringing the community together to support that school. A brand new community garden that's taken root.
Super, yeah.
Super garden, it's beautiful. One of the most robust, sustainable neighborhoods. And then working with the neighborhood churches who are also dealing with food banks, homelessness. And so it's all encompassing. And again, you're in a neighborhood where folks might drive by and think there's no needs here. Mm-hmm. And you certainly have deep needs, and you're addressing it through community. So what would you say the biggest impact that you've seen on your community by your actions?
Well, there's a lot of folks that have worked with me, and so it isn't just me alone. I mean, like I mentioned, Judy and other people that we look out after the community, and we want to make sure that whatever we do, we have the community members involved. We started at the school, as you said, that all of our activities now are school-based activities. That's the only place where we hold any of our meetings and things like that, because the school is the focal point of our community. So we do that, and we want everyone involved. I can say I look at some of the other communities, and we've never had a community fight or where people get up and yell at each other and things like that. And so our people are very, very congenial, and I hope we're all supportive of each other.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, again, to all of you, thank you so much. And I think this is a true example. Lakewood's an inclusive community, and there's something for everybody, and there's opportunities just right where you live or where you go to school or where you worship to get out and make a difference. So I'm honored to call you this year's recipients of the Mayor's Inspiration Awards. I want to thank all the nominees. There were a lot of folks who didn't quite make it this far, but people are doing great things. You are all so worthy. I hope you continue to do great things in our community and continue to lead by example. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Spotlight on Lakewood. Truly amazing people doing amazing things. I encourage you to get out, get involved, and continue to lead Lakewood in a direction that will make us all proud. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and remember, together we'll do great things.